Yeah, let's join our hands again to welcome again the guest of honor. Your Excellency, kindly let's take our seats. Your Excellency, today you'll be opening the 204 Forum and the 35th meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance of the UNFCCC, and the theme is Accelerating Climate Action and Resilience through Gender-Responsive Financing. In that regard, therefore, I have a great pleasure to welcome the Permanent Secretary in the Vice President's office to walk forward and give some introduction to various dignitaries who are attending this meeting. Karibu.
Honorable Excellency Dr. Filippo Isidori Mpango, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Dr. Kijaji, the Minister of State in the Vice President's Office, Honorable Dr. Mwigulu Lameck Nchemba, the Minister of Finance, Honorable Mr. Festo Kiswaga, RRC Representative of Arusha, Honorable Co-Chairs, Madam Apollonia and Madam Diana Brack from the UFCC, Madam Brittany, co-chair of the forum, members of the forum, standing committees, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Honorable Vice Presidents have been given two assignments this morning. First of all, to provide on behalf of the office the welcoming remarks, and secondly, to introduce the delegates who are here this morning to join you in the opening of this forum. Honorable Vice Presidents, I wish to welcome everybody over here in this amazing country of Tanzania. Tanzania is believed to be the origin of humankind. If we go back to history, 1.9 million years ago, during Homo habilis, we believe that humankind, the origin was in Tanzania. And where you are staying now, we have almost 100 kilometers away from here, the place called Orvai Gorge. So I wish to welcome everybody here to make sure we visit your ancestral land, you visit your home, and make sure you enjoy the nice breezing of Tanzania. We have a nice tourist center, and the Vice President office, we are going to accommodate you to make sure you visit all the places. Honorable Vice President, yesterday we had two site visits. We visited Land and Wildlife Management area, and later we visited Lake Manyara National Park. The delegates were happy to see the women community struggling to fight against climate change, and they visited also Lake Manyara National Park, where they saw the challenge of climate change as it affects the ecology. And they had also opportunity to see the serious effects of rainfall, unpredictable rainfall, as a result of producing a lot of siltation in the Lake Manyara National Park. So we are happy that we had a one-day site visit, of which I think they have enjoyed much, and we're going to contribute much in this forum, and at least they know how are we on the fight against climate change. Honorable Vice President, now allow me now to introduce the delegates. In front of you we have the Honorable Dr. Kijaji, the Minister of State in the Vice President's office. We have Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, the Minister of Finance. Okay, is here fetching for the finance from the climate change. So I think the HC are going to give us a lot of money to struggle against the climate effect in Tanzania. We have Honorable Jackson Kiswaga, Chairperson of Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water and the Environment. We have Madam Anna Rupembe, the Vice Chairperson of Parliamentary Standing Committee. We have Honorable Feso Kiswaga, the RIC representative. We have permanent secretaries and deputy permanent secretaries from the government, including Zanzibar. Honorable Vice President, we have standing committee members. These are the people who are giving us money. So I think, allow me to spend some little time to mention one after another. Actually, the standing committee, it has 21 members. Today we have 12 members. So I wish now to introduce to you one after another. We have the co-chairs, Madam Diana Black. We have another co-chair, Apollonia Miola. Actually, she promised to give us a lot of money for the Len yesterday. We have Zahid Fakir from South Africa. We have Petrus Mtayeli from Namibia. We have, this is our brother from the homeland, Richard Muyungi from Tanzania. We have Ambassador Diego Rodriguez from Bolivia. We have Elena Palela from Honduras. We have Lucas Xu from China. We have Kevin Adams from US. We have Britton Young from Australia. We have Clara Skars from Sweden. We have Mamadou Anadia from Burkina Faso. This is our brother who was escaping from Tanzania to Burkina Faso. He's now back home. Honorable Your Excellency Vice President, we have also UFCC Secretariat. We have Deputy Executive Secretary Noula Hamlaj. She's going to join through the media later. She's not here. We have Mr. Yolanda Velasco. Thank you very much. We have Madam Debbie Loy. We have Noah Kim. We have Priscilla Sokupwaya. Your Excellency Vice President, this forum has a member of 120 across the globe. Because of interest of time, I can't mention each one of us, but I'll just mention a few. We have Madam Britton Young, the co-chair of the forum. Yes. She has got 2 positions, so she's lucky. We have Madam Elena Cristina from Honduras, the co-chair of today. Yes. We have 120 delegates from the globe. Allow me now to mention the countries. We have friends from Australia. We have friends from Azerbaijan. We are visiting Azerbaijan next 2 months for COP29. So we are trying to make sure he's happy so that he can accommodate us. We have friends from UK. We have friends from Colombia. We have friends from Denmark, Egypt, Italy, Jamaica, Jordan, Kenya, Malawi, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Tajikistan, Tanzania, we're also here. One hand for us, please. Uganda, UAE, US, Mexico, Burundi, India, Zimbabwe, and the DRC Congo. Your Excellency Vice President, allow now me to introduce the Regional Security Committee, please. Thank you very much. We have the infantry team, the VSC, the VPO management team, and the other stakeholders. Please, Vice President Office. They had tried their best day and night to make sure this forum is doable. Thank you very much. We have also government officials from Regional Secretariat, please. From district, all members from the government in the Arusha region. We have also experts from multilateral financial schemes, GCF, GF, and the EF. Your Excellency Vice President, we have also received guests from Tanzania Civil Service and the government at large. We are not doing it on our own. We had friends from various institutions. I'm now introducing friends from CRDB, please. WWF, NMB, please stand up. I can't see them. World Bank, yes, he has promised to give us a lot of money for climate action. Thank you very much. Tanzania TDB, the Nature Conservers Tanzania office. Excellency Vice President, they are doing a big job as far as climate change is concerned, and they were also still yesterday. Thank you very much. London WDF Management Area. The Duane, please. Okay. Lake Manyara National Park. Tanzania Tourist Board. And the AICC, I can see the CEO is here, Madam. Thank you very much. Your Excellency Vice President, on behalf of Vice President's office, I wish to submit. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I have claps to him again. Thank you very much for the excellent introduction. Your Excellency, allow me to crack a joke. An Indian businessman was once asked, "How old are you?" He said, 36 years old. "And how long have you been in the service?" He said, 45 years. So everybody wondered, why? He said, because of overtime. If you are addressing the environment issue, definitely you have to look for a lot of funding, a lot of finance, and here are the good people whom God will always bless them. Can we please applaud them for their generosity? Sante sana. Yeah, as the Permanent Secretary has tried to inform us about Arusha, and here we have our host in Arusha, whom actually they are very rich as far as tourism is concerned. They have Arusha National Park, the Tarangire, Manyara, and Ngorongoro. And here we have the District Commissioner for Monduli, Festo Kiswaga, on behalf of the Regional Commissioner. Kindly give your remarks on behalf of the people of this region, Arusha. Karibu.
Your Excellency, Dr. Philipu Isdori Mpango, the Vice President of United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Dr. Yashantu Kachwamba Kijaji, MP, Minister of State, Vice President Office, Union and the Environment, Honorable Dr. Mwiguru Nchemba, Minister of Finance, all ministers present here today, Honorable Roy Sabaya, who is represented by the party regional secretary, chairman of CCM Arusha Regional, Engineer Cipriani Luhemeja, permanent secretary, Vice President Office, all permanent secretaries present here today, members of Regional Security Committee, District Administrative Secretary here present, Chairman of Standing Committee of Finance, SCF, representative of UNFSCC Secretariat, members of Standing Committee and on Finance of the UNFCCC, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Your Excellency, the Vice President of United Republic of Tanzania, it is my great pleasure to welcome you and your distinguished delegates of this forum to our beautiful tourist city of Arusha. Arusha is a tourism hub in the northern tourism circuit. This city connects tourists to various attractions in Tanzania. It is such an honor for Arusha to be hosting 2024 Forum and 35th Standing Committee on Finance of the UNFCCC. Your Excellency, Arusha has been hosting a number of important events, both local and international. On behalf of Regional Commissioner Honorable Paulo Chiristani Makonda, I assure delegates of this forum of safety and security throughout their stay in Arusha. The Regional Secretariat is ready to provide all kinds of assistance where needed. Your Excellency, as part of the global community, we are all here witnessing the impacts of climate change. In Arusha, climate change has significant activities of the citizen due to the weather changes accompanied by extreme weather events such as flood, droughts, and at different times. May I take this opportunity to acknowledge and commend serious commitment of our experts who have been conveyed here today for their valuable efforts to address climate change issues, climatic financing in particular. Your Excellency, the regional administrative understand the importance of Standing Committee on Finance of the UNFCCC, particularly on its superlative role in setting up global climate financing policies to deal with climate change in both mitigation and adaptation. It is my sincere hope that delegates of 2024 Forum and members of Standing Committee in Finance will have the best conference environment here in Arusha. Your Excellency, I understand that delegates have very limited time under busy schedules, but I would like to take this opportunity to recommend that during their stay here in Arusha, to spare time to visit some of the breathtaking, beautiful tourist attractions close to Arusha, like the Ngorongoro Crater, Tarangire National Park, or Arusha National Park, to enjoy the good weather of hospitality of the people of Arusha. I thank you very much for the attention. Karibuni sana sana Arusha. Asante sana.
Yeah, heavy claps to him again. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, the UNFCCC was adopted in 1992 with the ultimate aim of dangerous human interference with the climate system. I have a great honor now. I have great honor to share a personal message from the Deputy Executive Secretary of the UNFCCC, Nora Hamlash. Kindly take the floor and give your remarks. Nora? She's not here. Oh, sorry. Let's share from the...
Send my support and encouragement to the efforts of the Standing Committee on Finance in support of gender responsive finance. If we want,
Yeah, Your Excellency, we apologize. The technology has failed us somewhere. But in good faith, can we applaud her, please, because she had a good intention, but the technology has just denied us. And I'm sure the script will be sent to the guest of honor. Thank you. Yeah, Your Excellency, according to our program now, we will hear remarks from the Secretariat of the UNFSCC. And here I want to say, a wise man once said, if God avails you with wealth, do not raise the standard of spending, rather raise the standard of giving, and God will always bless you. So according to our program here, may I call upon the co-chairs of the Standing Committee on Finance, and to start with, I wish to invite Madam Apolonia Miola to come forward, and I will be followed by Her Excellency Ambassador Diane Blackley. Karibu.
Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, good morning. On behalf of Standing Committee on Finance, I thank the government of United Republic of Tanzania for hosting the forum and 36th Standing Committee on Finance meeting here in Arusha, and for the excellent reception. I would also like to thank you for the opportunity to visit yesterday the Manyara region. We saw the impressive efforts in addressing climate change and advancing gender-related projects made by your government. We had the opportunity to show an example of activity in the context of Umaha model for community security to monitor the health of the land. We also visited the Enaboishu Women Cultural Boma, and we were impressed by the work done by this community and the women to cope and adapt to climate change, and also for the conservation of the habitat of their land. Really impressive. Also for the sustainable management of the tourism of that area, really. And then we had also the opportunity to visit the Lake Manyara National Park, and again, impressed by the generosity and the spectacular hospitality of your people everywhere. Really, thank you so much for this. But allow me also to say a few words about the work of the Standing Committee of Finance. The SCF is an expert body under the Conference of the Parties, established at its 16th session. The Standing Committee of Finance assists the COP with respect to financial mechanisms and undertakes technical work on climate finance in line with its mandate. Among its activity, there is the Forum. The Forum of the Standing Committee on Finance is a dedicated space under the UNFCCC, aiming to enhance communication and exchange of information among climate finance actors and promote linkages and coherence among the actors. The SCF has organized its forum on various topics, including on adaptation finance, forest finance, and climate resilience infrastructure, and nature-based solutions and financing just transitions. Through the forum, the SCF facilitates a technical discussion among key climate finance practitioners and reports to the COP on the outcomes of the forum discussions with key findings and policy recommendations. We are very happy and proud that this year's the forum is on this very important topic on gender responsive finance is being held here in Tanzania, in Arusha. Thank you so much for this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for having us here, and we look forward to a successful forum and 35th Standing Committee on Finance meeting. And I will leave the floor to you, Diane. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Apollonia, and good morning, everybody. And thank you, Vice President, for having us here in your beautiful country. And to all of our SCF members and honorable guests. And I would like to say a special thank you to Richard Mwenyeji, who's been inviting us. I've been working with him at UNFCCC for so many years, and he's promised so many times to invite us to Tanzania. So this is long in the making, so I'm very happy to be here. My name is Diane Blacklane. I'm a member of the Standing Committee on Finance, and each member of our committee represents a group of countries. I represent SIDS, Small Island Developing States, and as you know, we are very much impacted by climate change. As the co-chair, I represent the collective views of the developing countries, including Tanzania and others, as we move forward, as Apollonia said, to get the technical work that has to be done to underpin our work as we try to move as much climate finance as possible around the world where it is needed. The rate at which we are mitigating, the rate at which we are adapting is slower than the rate at which climate change is progressing. The role of the Standing Committee on Finance, to put it simply, is to assist our financial mechanism under the convention to accelerate that rate. You know, sometimes when there is a need for speed, sometimes we leave people behind. And we at the Standing Committee on Finance is working with the Adaptation Fund, working with the Green Climate Fund, working with the Global Environmental Facility and other financiers who are part of that grouping, the World Bank, many accredited entity, to ensure that speed doesn't mean that we leave somebody behind, right? This is not the Olympics. It is, which we enjoy. But this is something that we believe to achieve speed, we have to do it in an inclusive way. If we are not inclusive, we will not achieve what we would like to achieve. And to do this, we have had several forums in the past, and the purpose of this forum is to help us understand exactly how can we include everybody. How do we do that? And although we are all really experienced in negotiations, although we are all represent our respective regions, it's important to hear from the people who will be directly affected by the access to financing and those who will be directly affected if they don't get access. And so that is why we're here, to listen, take that information, put it down on paper, and pass that information to our funds, to our banks, to our bilateral donors, and explain to them all in one voice that we agree that this is a good thing and this is how we should do it. Once we all agree, we move faster together. And that is why we're here in the Standing Committee on Finance, traveling all over. Many of our members could not make it, so they are participating virtually, as well as a lot of other persons. And that shows their dedication, because they'll be participating sometimes in their home country at 1 a.m. and so on in the morning. So even though they're not here, Apollonia and I would like to thank them for being here anyway. And we are communicating to them all the fun that we have on the tours, the food that we're enjoying already, the feedback that we have from all of our members of the forum, and just to know to everyone participating and to thank the Vice President for being here, that we're listening and we don't know everything. And this is why we are here in person. This is why we are participating online, so we can capture everything. And as your Minister of Finance would know, getting money and accessing funds is not easy. Accessing funds in the way you want to access this is a lot of money out there, we know. But it's not always easy to get it at the rate that you want it, at the time that you need it, and the type that you need to get. So we're here to listen, and we'd like to thank you all again for inviting us, and we're just looking forward to the next few days. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind remarks. Can we again applaud them? Thank you very much. Yeah, Your Excellency, Ibn Battuta, one of the renowned people in the world, once said, when we die, do not find us in the cemeteries, find us from our followers. And our followers are those good people who have prepared a good future for the future generation. The people who have really worked out to see that the environmental degradation that is not given a chance. And this is the Secretariat. We thank you very much for being ready to finance on that. Now, Your Excellency, the Secretariat of this conference, together with the Arusha region, they have organized a package, entertainment package for us. While we are awaiting the Maasai group to come and display their mighty dancing, as all we know, the Maasais are good, may I welcome the brass band for just a minute to entertain us, please. The brass band. Asante. Thank you, thank you. Makofi mengi. Have the claps again. Oh, have the claps again to the brass band. Please, kindly greet His Excellency, the Vice President, and they will be rewarded, I'm sure. Come on. That is what we call in Latin, in musica est vita. In music, there is life. Head claps to them again. Come on. He reminds me when I was in the national service. Let's be seated, please. Your Excellency, the second part of our entertainment is the Maasai group in front of you. Karibuni sana. Weka ile kitu napendeza. Dakika tatu.
Hoye lejo. Ahe. Hoye lejo. Ahe. Twapenda wageni wetu. Ahe. Karibuni wageni wetu. Ahe. Wageni wetu abarona. Aba kwetu Tanzania. Ahe. Ninji nyamani. Ahe. Ninji upendo. Ahe. Karibuni wageni wetu habaruna waka. Habaruna waka. Habaruna waka. Habaruna waka. Habaruna waka. Twapenda wageni wote. Ahe. Karibuni wageni wetu habaruna waka. Habaruna waka karibisha.
Wanamalizia sasa.
Ndugu wapendwa, wageni wote waalikwa, Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, Makamu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, Mheshimiwa sana Dr. Philip Mpango, karibu sana Arusha. Karibu katika jiji la Arusha. Hapa ndio Geneva of Africa. You're welcome all guys. You're welcome to our country. Welcome to Tanzania. Here is equality Geneva of Africa. It's a peace country. We love you guys. We love each other. You're welcome to Tanzania. This is a peace country. Karibuni sana wageni wetu. Karibuni katika mkutano huu kwa ajili ya kuja kuzungumzia mambo mengi, ukizungumzia swala la mazingira. Karibuni sana Arusha, tunawapenda wote.
Asante. Your Excellency, delegates, can we please join our hands again as they leave this precious hall? Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana sana. Wanaondoka hivyo. Kiongozi, naomba kiongozi wa kikundi. Kiongozi wa kikundi naomba uje, tafadhali kasalimiane. Yeah, naenda kusalimiana tena. Yeah, another package for the Maasai group. Makofi mengi. Heavy claps bring to them. Shukran. That is Tanzania. Distinguished delegates, we have about 126 tribes. You can imagine the tradition diversities we are getting. Oh, may God bless Tanzania. Yeah, Your Excellency, our guest of honor, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, it is an open secret that the delegates in this hall are curious to hear your speech. And not only that, the nation and the world are definitely anxious to hear your speech. I'm now honored and privileged to request the Honorable Dr. Ashatu Kijaji, Member of Parliament, Minister of State in the Vice President's office, responsible for environment and union matters, to give introductory remarks on this session and this meeting, and thereafter welcome you to deliver your speech. Waziri Karibu. Let's give her heavy claps, please.
Your Excellency, Dr. Philip Isidore Mpango, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and the honored delegates that are with us here today, good morning. Your Excellency, the Vice President, before I welcome you to officiate this important gathering here, with your permission, allow me to welcome two people in this room so that they can say some few words before I welcome you, because one of them is the one who is supporting us a lot in the parliament. When we ask for the funds, then they are the one who just tell us what to do and what not to do. So with your permission, Your Excellency, let me welcome the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Water and Environment to tell us some few words before I proceed. Karibu sana mwenyekiti.
Your Excellency, Dr. Philip Mpango, the Vice President of Republic of Tanzania, My name is Jackson Jigiri Swaga, the Standing Committee, the Chairman of the Standing Committee of Water and Environment. I'm here on behalf of the Right Honorable Speaker, Dr. Tulia Addison, who would have loved to be here, but today we're having election in the Parliament. We are covering one position of East Africa member from Tanzania. So we welcome you to this very beautiful land of Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro, Ngorongoro, also the land of Serengeti. Yeah, we are here to address the very important issue affecting our world at this point of time, the climate change. And everybody knows then how, the climate change has affected the world. And we believe that this forum will come up with a very good solution on how we're going to tackle the challenge which is facing the world. And actually, as you know, maybe speaking of Africa, it has been said we are losing about 400 million hectares of forest. And in Tanzania, we are not left behind. We are losing about 465 hectares per year. This is a very big challenge. And indeed, if we don't act now, this world will disappear, and also we will disappear. So, addressing here, one of the delegates said, accessing the fund in the world is not very easy. We are here to make it easy. It's very important that we make it easy. This fund must be accessible so that we can act now and not later. Otherwise, we'll be in very big trouble. And it has been said, like 2050, almost 140 million will be moving, migrating from one country to another in Africa, going to access the water in various areas. And it has been also said by various political known people in the world that the third world war will be caused by water scarce. You can see this is very dangerous, guys, and we need to act now. Of course, money is not going to address all the challenges we are thinking we can address. I think we also, our human behavior. I always tell the people in the meeting that not only money, but also our human behavior. Our human behavior is the one which caused the climate change. Our forefathers worked very gently in this world. They preserved this world. Why we, with advanced technology, with all we know, why are we making this world to be destroyed by our behavior? So we must decide on how we can move forward. It's very important, very, very important. But other things which we can do without money. There are many other things, like reinforcing the laws. We have very good laws in Africa on how to protect the land and the climate change as whole. But how are we supervising the acts and the laws which we prepared? There are so many things we can do. And how are we managing our livestock, moving from one place to another carelessly? How are we doing? Before money comes, we can do other things. So I would like to welcome you here. And I believe these 2 days will be very productive, and we'll come up with something which is going to help our world and Africa now and not tomorrow. You are very much welcome. Thank you for this rare opportunity you have given me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Your Excellency Vice President. The second person is someone who will assure us that our money is safe so that we can tackle the climate change challenges that we are facing. And with your permission, allow me to welcome Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba so that he can say some few words assuring us of the safety of our money. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, Dr. Philip Isdori Mpango, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Madam Minister, Dr. Shatu Kijaji, the Chairperson of the Standing Committee, the co-chairs, all protocols observed. I also wish to take this opportunity to thank you for awarding me this opportunity to stand before you and share some few issues. The first one is an appreciation to you for setting some time to grace this event, which is quite important to all of us. your own department, head by your minister under your office, and our Minister of Finance and other colleagues whom we share the targets which are directly related to these issues of climate change and resilience. Your Excellency Vice President, the way today is suffering from mainly two issues among others, one being the shocks, both internal and external, and the other one is issues concerning climate change and the issue to do with adaptation and resilience. When it comes to issues of external shocks, we are faring fairly well as a country, with macroeconomic variables behaving within the range. We are having inflation rate all behaving within 3 to 5%, which is in line with the targets in the region, both regions, EAC and SADC. And we have over 4 months of import reserve cover, which is international standards and within the range of the targets in our regions, both SADC and the EAC. And the sustainability of our debt, public debt, with which we had international ratings by both Moody's and the Fitch ratings last year and the year before, whereby Tanzania was granted B1 stable, which is a high mark in all the countries in our region. So with this one, we are fairly managing, despite the twin shocks of the COVID-19 and the geopolitics in Eastern Europe, and the recent problems of forex shortage in both African countries and in the world at large. As we sit, we ministers for finance, our focus today, issues to do with the climate change and adaptation, is a prime agenda in all meetings, because it carries our responsibility today, and it promises us the future in resource mobilization, bearing in mind of these shocks, both internal and external. So let me assure you, Your Excellency Vice President, that once we sit, we ministers for finance, this one will be a priority, and it is in line with the theme today, with all accelerating climate actions and resilience adaptations, together with the gender responsive financing. And we assure this one will give us the future of resource mobilization, and I can assure you, Your Excellency Vice President, that all the resources mobilized will maintain the prudent use so that we can achieve all these targets. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
Asante sana Waziri. Your Excellency Dr. Philip Isidore Mpango, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Dr. Mwigulu Lameck Nchemba, Minister for Finance, Honorable Jackson Kiswaga, Chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water and Environment, Honorable Anna Lupembe, Deputy Chairperson of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Water and Environment, Honorable Festo Kiswaga, Mondul District Commissioner, Engineer Cyprian John Luhemeja, Permanent Secretary, Vice President's Office, Ms. Christine Solomon Mdeme, the Deputy Permanent Secretary, Vice President's Office, responsible for Environment, Mr. Abdullah Mitawi, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Vice President's Office, responsible for Union, Permanent Secretaries and Deputy Permanent Secretaries that you are here with us today from the two parts of the United Republic of Tanzania. My two sisters, Ms. Diana Blank and Apollonia Viola, the co-chairs of the 35th Standing Committee on Finance of the UNFCCC, and the members of the 35th session of the Standing Committee on Finance of the UNFCCC. Your Excellency, allow me to tell that all protocols are observed. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Honorable delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a profound gratitude and a deep sense of privilege that I welcome you all to Arusha, Tanzania, often said and as referred as the Geneva of Africa. As the de facto capital of the East African community, Arusha stands as a testament to our commitment to collaborative efforts in addressing regional and global challenges, and we are honored to host this important meeting of the UNFCCC Standing Committee on Finance. On behalf of the host country, I extend my sincere thanks to the chair and members of the committee for granting Tanzania the privilege of hosting this significant gathering. Honored delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express special appreciation to His Excellency Dr. Philip Isidore Mpango, the Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Your presence here, representing our esteemed President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, speaks volumes about your dedications despite your demanding schedule. Thank you, Your Excellency, for making time to join us. Your Excellency, guest of honor, I must commend the outstanding work carried out by the Standing Committee on Finance of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and our dedicated national team for their meticulous preparations leading up this meeting. The reality of climate change presents us with grave risks, manifesting through extreme weather events, rising temperatures, erratic rainfall, tropical storms, and severe flooding, each impacting our societies, economies, and ecosystem. These challenges result in significant loss and damage to vital infrastructure, from roads and bridges to utilities and power lines. They also threaten essential services that underpin our communities' livelihoods, leading to water and food insecurity. All this demand for a dedicated and committed team like the one that we have here today. Thank you so much, and you are most welcome. I believe in these 2 days we will come up with good deliberations, actionable deliberations that will help to protect our environment. Your Excellency, guest of honor, in 2024, Tanzania, alongside fellow East African nations, has faced the devastating effects of intense flooding fueled by El Nino. This catastrophe has not only disrupted social and economic activities, but also has tragically resulted in the loss of lives. Additionally, we have endured tropical storms such as Hidaya, which have wreaked havoc on housing, infrastructure, and power supply, particularly in Kilosa and Mvomero districts in Morogoro and in Zanzibar too. This stark reality underscores the urgent need for ambitious climate action, empowering us to build resiliency against climate change and reduce greenhouse emissions. Your Excellency, guest of honor, Tanzania is committed to tackling climate change through a variety of initiatives. We have adopted comprehensive policies and strategic plans, including the National Environment Policy of 2021, National Environmental Master Plan for Strategic Interventions from 2022 to 2032, National Policy on Blue Economy of 2024, and several others. Our approach encapsulates a spectrum of climate adaptation and mitigation projects designed to foster sustainability. I understand that the outcomes of the first Global Stocktake report delivered at COP28 reveal a slow progress in achieving the Paris Agreement objectives, particularly in mobilizing the jointly pledged United States $100 billion per year, and facilitating technology development and transfer to meet the needs of developing nations, including Tanzania. Your Excellency, guest of honor, to enhance our climate actions, Tanzania seeks collaborations with our development partners in the following priority areas. 1. Enhancing climate resiliency in flood-prone areas. 2. Promoting clean cooking and clean energy technologies. 3. Implementing sustainable land management in landslide-prone regions such as Hanang, Same, Mwanga, and Kawetere in Mbeya. 4. Building resilience in coastal areas susceptible to sea level rise, flooding, and beach erosion. 5th, unlocking the potential of our blue economy in coastal and marine ecosystems in regions including Pwani, Dar es Salaam, Tanga, and Zanzibar. And 6, integrating gender-responsive approaches and actions to adapt to the climate change. 7, restoring degraded ecosystems in Tanzania's dryland areas. 8, implementing sustainable solid waste management practices in our major cities. And 9th, managing invasive plant species in the Serengeti-Ngorongoro ecosystem. So for our development partners, these are our priority areas. Please, let's join hands so that we can work together to make sure that our tomorrow is safe. HANA delegates, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, let me reiterate my heartfelt thanks to the Chair of the Standing Committee on Finance for the honor of hosting this meeting in Arusha, Tanzania. And thank you for visiting the sites yesterday. We look forward, at least you will spare some 2 to 3 days to look for other areas that we have planned for you. It is now my privilege to invite our guest of honor, His Excellency Dr. Philip Isidore Mpango, to officially open our meeting. I thank you so much for your kind attention. Your Excellency, you are most welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now let's all stand and give His Excellency the guest of honor. Have your claps again, please, as he walks to the podium. Yeah, let's be seated, please.
Honorable Dr. Shatu Kijaji, Member of Parliament and Minister of State in the Vice President's Office, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good morning. This meeting is in recognition of the profound responsibility and effort that countries, organizations, and other partners undertake in mobilization of finance to address challenges of climate change. On behalf of Her Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, I wish to extend a heartfelt welcome to all our esteemed delegates who have come from across the globe to participate in this August forum here in Arusha. Karibuni sana. I also wish to express our heartfelt gratitude to the Standing Committee on Finance for choosing Tanzania as the host country for both the Forum on Climate Finance as well as the 35th meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance. I think this decision resonates quite well with Tanzania's commitment to gender-responsive financing for climate action. Distinguished delegates, since its establishment in Cancun, Mexico, during COP16, the Standing Committee on Finance has done a commendable job of assisting parties in relation to financial matters under the Convention and the Paris Agreement. The committee has been pivotal in helping the Conference of Parties to improve coherence and coordination in the delivery of climate change financing, rationalization of the financial mechanism, mobilization of financial resources and measurement, reporting and verification of support provided to developing country parties. This is the only committee that has been mandated to report and make recommendations to the Conference of Parties on all aspects of climate finance. I therefore wish to underscore the huge responsibility bestowed to you, committee members, on this important topic, and particularly for developing countries, and wish to congratulate you for the work well done so far. I also wish to commend you for your continued noble work of organizing forums such as the one we are having today on important and practical topics that touch on daily lives of our communities. Your continued role of providing policy and expert recommendations on how to improve the coherence, effectiveness, and efficiency of the operating entities of the financial mechanism is particularly recognized. Distinguished delegates, climate change has drawn widespread attention and urgency owing to its profound impact on ecosystems, food security, and health systems, as well as social systems, including gender. And in addition, the adverse impacts of climate change affect disproportionately some gender categories. In Tanzania, floods, droughts, the spread of invasive plant species, the rise in the sea level, and landslides are among the most visible consequences of climate change. Unfortunately, the most highly impacted groups are women, youth, and children. In this regard, it is gratifying to note that the Standing Committee chose the theme of this forum to focus on accelerating climate action and resilience through gender-responsive financing, and decided that it should be hosted in Tanzania. I wish to point out that gender-responsive financing cannot be achieved without a gender-inclusive, responsive, and participatory decision-making process. Distinguished delegates, the week-long climate finance events of the Standing Committee on Finance here in Arusha marks another milestone in the work of the committee as it advises the Conference of Parties on key climate finance issues that are critical for the outcomes of COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan. The 2024 forum is the first mandated event on gender-responsive climate finance. And as you are aware, at COP25, parties invited relevant public and private entities to increase the gender responsiveness of climate finance with a view to strengthening the capacity of women. This invitation by COP has since been translated into guidance to the GCF, GEF, and Adaptation Fund to ensure that it is embedded in their project policies and report annually on how such guidance is being implemented. In addition, other public sources of finance, such as the multilateral development banks and bilateral agencies, are also reporting on how they implement gender considerations into their climate financing. Therefore, the two-day event here in Arusha will further explore how gender-responsive climate finance contributes to the achievement of the goals of the Paris Agreement and Sustainable Development Goals, and support climate mitigation, adaptation, and loss and damage. It will also explore the needs and priorities of gender-responsive climate action, sources and instruments to scale up gender-responsive climate finance. And I am glad that many of you were able to have a side visit yesterday to Manyara in one of the WMAs. And as you testified here, you witnessed how women are participating in actions that address climate change and boost their incomes. Therefore, the outcomes of this forum may inform the review of implementation of the Enhanced Lima Work Program on Gender and its Gender Action Plan to be concluded at COP29 in Baku. Distinguished delegates, the 35th meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance is expected to produce key technical papers that will inform key climate finance decisions at COP29. At the meeting here near Arusha, the whole world is expecting you to deliver on the reports on the 6th biennial assessment and overview of climate finance flows, the progress report on the US 100 billion, the needs determination report of developing countries, and the report on the common climate finance definitions. All these critical technical reports will be concluded here in Arusha to inform the climate finance decisions that parties will undertake at COP29, and particularly on the new collective quantified goal of climate finance. These reports provide a review on how climate finance has been delivered and a forward-looking view in terms of what are the needs of developing countries to support their ambitious climate actions in order to set the long-term goal on climate finance. Therefore, your work here is extremely important. Distinguished delegates, let me also note that delivering innovative green growth and climate financing solutions cannot be effective without harnessing our energy resources. And in this regard, Tanzania has taken robust steps to increase our share of renewable energy production from hydropower, geothermal, wind, and solar power. And we plan to generate 950 megawatts from solar, wind, and other renewables, as well as 200 megawatts from geothermal. Dear delegates, through the nationally determined contribution, Tanzania has put forward an adaptation target of increasing access to clean and safe water in both urban and rural areas from 86% and 67.7% respectively in 2020 to 100% by 2030. In addition, indoor pollution arising from cooking using firewood and charcoal has been one of the major causes of health problems. While we use it to cook our food, biomass energy is also a source of greenhouse gases and indoor pollution in most of sub-Saharan Africa. And in view of this, Tanzania has made clean cooking to be a national agenda by championing and coordinating the Africa Women Clean Cooking Support Program. Through this program, our president, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, is now the champion of clean cooking across the continent. The program aims to provide clean cooking technologies across Africa and relieve our women and girls the burden of using charcoal and firewood for cooking. And in collaboration with our development partners, a total of $2.2 billion was mobilized at the Clean Cooking Energy Conference in Paris in May this year. This is an encouraging development that will help in addressing environmental, health, and socio-economic challenges associated with the use of traditional cooking energy. And our target is to ensure that by 2034, 80% of all Tanzania have clean cooking solutions from the current 7%. Since we need a just transition that is gender responsive, we propose that clean cooking should be one of the areas of focus at COP29 in Baku. Distinguished delegates, Tanzania is also experiencing several climate change impacts of unprecedented magnitudes, and the minister did hint about this. In December 2023, following heavy rainfall, which triggered mudslides and floods in Hanang district, Manyara region, a total of 89 people died, 139 were injured, and more than 1,500 people were affected, with 95 houses washed away. And in addition, there was a substantial damage to infrastructure, particularly the rural roads. And the government, the gentleman sitting in front of you, was compelled to relocate people and spend $3 million to rehabilitate and reconstruct new houses and roads in the affected area. Damage to the entire national road network was estimated to be 520 kilometers, and that will require about $355 million for repair and reconstruction. Consequently, climate resilience has now become one of the key indicators and underlying principles of budget resource allocation starting this financial year, 2024-25. Distinguished delegates, climate change and gender inequality are complex challenges that are interconnected. And in our experience, meaningful gender-responsive climate actions demand a holistic approach that aims to overcome silos and gaps that impede design, implementation, and monitoring. In this context, the government of Tanzania has continued to promote mainstreaming of gender and climate change into policies, programs, and strategies at all levels. And the key policy elements being promoted include gender equality in access to economic and financial opportunities for women and men, creating an enabling environment for women to fully participate in all levels of leadership and decision-making, gender equality in access to quality education and training, use of technology in the empowerment of women, use of clean cooking energy in urban and rural areas, having systems for collection, management, and use of gender statistics, and gender-responsive environmental management. The vision of such efforts is to ensure that both women and men can have access to and participate in, as well as contribute and hence benefit from climate change initiatives and efforts. Moreover, gender-responsive climate financing is being integrated in the Budget Act, whereby every local government authority in Tanzania is now required to allocate 10% of own resource revenue to women, youth, and people with disability to support them to improve livelihood and adapt to the adverse impacts of climate change. The Finance Act has also set 10% of the value of the stake on betting in all gaming to support health insurance for vulnerable groups. And starting this financial year, the government will be charging 2% levy to all carbonated drinks so as to mobilize funds to support universal health insurance in the country. Indeed, we are very grateful for the opportunity to share our experience and showcase Tanzania's progress and experiences and contribute to the global dialogue on climate action through a lens of gender-responsive climate financing initiatives. And it is worth noting that gender-responsive budgets foster a sense of justice, strengthen government accountability, and support better alignment of national budgets with the SDGs. Distinguished delegates, in the energy sector, the government has electrified 11,973 villages, which is about 97.2% of all villages in the country. In addition, 50% of all village hamlets in the country have already been electrified through the Tanzania Rural Agency Electrification Program. And our target is to ensure that all villages have access to and affordable electricity. The government is also implementing major strategic projects, including construction of the standard gauge railway and the Julius Nyerere hydropower project that will produce 2,115 megawatts, improving the Dar es Salaam rapid transport system, and more than doubled the agricultural budget. All these provide access and relief to gender-based services and responsibilities. Dear delegates, despite mobilizing modest financial resources internally, Tanzania has also received climate financing from international sources, including multilateral climate funds such as Adaptation Fund, the Global Environmental Facility, the Green Climate Fund, and the Least Developed Countries Fund. We thank SCF for its role in guiding these funds. Distinguished delegates, as we come together in this forum, I encourage all delegates to engage in an open and constructive dialogue, sharing successes, challenges, and lessons learned. By leveraging your collective knowledge and expertise, you will amplify the impact of national and global efforts and accelerate progress towards our shared goals of ensuring sustainable gender-responsive climate financing. And I hope that the deliberations of the Forum and Standing Committee on Finance shall help to ensure fulfillment of a pledge by developed countries of $100 billion annually by 2025 as part of their commitment to facilitate the implementation of the Paris Agreement. I also call for a predictable, accessible, sustainable, and balanced financing between mitigation and adaptation, taking into consideration that developing countries are more in need of adaptation financing so as to ensure gender-responsible climate financing. Distinguished delegates, although the conference discussions will be centered on delivering innovative green growth and climate financing solutions for Africa and the world, allow me to end my remarks by following the footsteps of the acting regional commissioner. I want to draw your attention to Tanzania's rich endowment in terms of natural resources, ranging from aquatic, marine, and terrestrial ecosystems, such as forests and mangroves, sea grasses, and land, which contribute significantly to improving livelihoods and in addressing climate change. Tanzania has a long coastline of about 1,424 kilometers, with a diversity of marine and coastal ecosystems. 32% of the land mass is protected and continues to provide global environmental services and benefits. The iconic national parks, including the mighty Serengeti National Park, Mount Kilimanjaro, the rooftop of Africa, the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, are just at your backyard while in Arusha. I encourage you to plan a visit to these unforgettable sites and explore the wonders of the biodiversity before you leave Tanzania. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and pleasure to declare the Climate Forum and the 35th meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change officially open. Thank you for listening. Karibuni sana Tanzania.
Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, educational, inspiring, and articulate. In that regard, therefore, even elders once said, when the trees decide to dance, when the forest decides to dance, the trees have no exception. If someone does a good job, he deserves what we call a summa cum laude, the highest praise. Can we again join our hands, please? Your Excellency, we would wish to have some few group photo with you. Kindly, let's walk just here to the, and all the chairs be brought again here for few good photo. Yeah, let's be seated, please. Yeah, the first group photo will be members of the SCF. You'll just stand behind the guest of honor. All members of the SCF, please come forward for the group photo. Yeah, just to give you a clue of what means by a good photo. They say if you smile, you add value to your face. Can we balance the photo, please? Yeah, that is the first. And as you take leave, kindly take leave on your right. Yeah, thank you. The second one is members of the UNFCCC Secretariat. The UNFCCC Secretariat. Kindly come this way and you live on your right. Yeah, thank you. On your right, please take leave on your right. The last one is the Tanzania National Organizing Committee, together with religious leaders and the two parliamentary chairs. And definitely the Master of Ceremony also is part of the organizing committee. He will have the advantage of that. Yes. Excuse me, let's have two groups, please. Yeah. Naomba kule msara, naomba wote mlioko udini hapo. Yes. Yeah. That is the first one. Tayari, naomba tokee kulia. Njoni tafadhali. Yeah, thank you very much. As the guest of honor departs, all of us should remain here for a special announcement. Your Excellency, yeah, this has climaxed our opening event, our opening for the ceremony for the conference. Yeah, let's all stand again and let's see off the guest of honor against heavy claps again, because that's the African way. Yeah. Yeah, let's all be seated once again. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation. For a few minutes, someone will come here and lead us what is next. So please continue, be seated. Yeah, for all those who have been invited for the opening session, are allowed to leave or to take leave. So only those members for the 2024 forum and the 35th meeting on the Standing Committee of Finance will remain seated here. So the rest of us who are invited, kindly take leave. Now you take charge.